joined by Jewish Care. Melinda Kidgell is in charge of client services, and Emma Boyar is in charge of Next Generation. What's Next Generation, and what are you doing?
Thanks for hosting us this morning. Next Generation is the engagement of a younger cohort of donors towards our organisation. We're seeing a huge shift in the way people are giving. The younger cohort is giving a bit differently into different causes, and we allocate a number of resources in ensuring that we correctly connect with the younger generation, who is the future of our organisation and our community.
And you've got a crowdfunding program on the way at the moment. How does crowdfunding work?
So crowdfunding is really big at the moment across Australia and within fundraising. It's the practice of funding a project by raising small amounts of money from a large group of people.
Online,
right. It's all online. The idea is that you have a set time frame, a set project, and a set goal.
And this project is called Hands Up for a Home.
It certainly is. Hands Up for the Home is running for 20 days. It finishes on the 7th of September, and the aim is to raise $180,000 within those 20 days to refurbish some of our units in Fulton Street to support homelessness in our local Melbourne Jewish community.
Okay. Where's Fulton Street for those uninitiated?
It's in St Kilda East.
Okay. And who stays in these homes?
So I manage Jewish Care's housing support program, and that exists to meet the needs of people who are either currently homeless or at risk of homelessness within the Jewish community.
Right.
And what we know is that homelessness in the Jewish community looks exactly like homelessness in the general population. Yeah. So the majority of people who are homeless, the largest percentage of people are the under 35s, which make up 63% of the homeless population. Next is women and children leaving situations of family violence, and also single people over 55. So people might be a bit surprised to hear that each night Jewish Care provides accommodation to over 165 individuals and families, and that includes 36 children. So
that's quite stunning, isn't it? And it's the sort of thing that we don't see on the surface, do we?
No, and I think that, we address homelessness at Jewish Care by concurrently directly providing housing that's affordable to people and making sure they've also got support that targets whatever their individual needs are, so that their period of housing can be stabilised and they can move on to permanent housing.
Right. And so the $180,000 is needed to modernise, to refurbish. So they've been around for a while, haven't they, the homes?
Yeah, so these particular... So Jewish Care owns and manages a range of stock.
Right.
We have about 71 properties. This particular campaign is looking at refurbishing 62 units that are in the Fulton Street. They're all single units and a couple of doubles. And those buildings have been around for the last 35 years and certainly meet the needs for people who are homeless and looking for some housing stability, but in no doubt are also in need of a bit of a refurbishment. They're just a little bit tired.
Sure. And that's important. So how's the fundraising going?
It's going well. We launched with a great social function to build our crowd.
Right.
Emails are going out, and you can follow Jewish Care on social media to keep up to date with how the campaign is rolling. The next 7 days is very important to reach our target. The most exciting thing about our crowdfunding campaign is that each donation is matched dollar for dollar by the generosity of the Pratt Foundation.
Wow,
so your $10
really
turns into $20. Your $5,000 turns into $10,000. Each unit costs $70,000 to refurbish, and we aim to refurbish 4 to get this campaign started.
Okay. And is this your first foray into crowdfunding?
It's not. Last year we ran another crowdfunding campaign in support of a sensory room at our disability centre.
And how are you finding it? Is it a successful way of raising money? Because we hear so many ways of raising money these days, because it's very tired just getting a whole bank of people on the phone to ring people and on and on and on. So this is a new way using social media.
It is a new way. It's using social media together with your digital community. Crowdfunding is growing. It's doubled in Australia since last year. It's definitely, I would say, maybe the future of fundraising, as more people do respond online via direct mail and other platforms. It's a very different way of fundraising. It's not just we need a large amount of money to do our general job. And for it to be successful, it has to have a very clear target and a very clear timeline. It's also a very busy time. You can't just put it online and hope for the best. You need to keep running with the campaign for the frame.
Yes, that's the thing on social media I found. You need to keep it relevant and new all the time. Every day you need to put something new out there. So does somebody do this for you, or are you running this service yourself, the crowdfunding, or is there a crowdfunding expert out there who has...
We are doing it internally.
Right.
So we create the artwork, the emails, the content, and the structure of the campaign.
Right.
And we are running it on a platform called Chuffed, which is a social enterprise in Australia.
Right.
So you can visit the campaign by going to chuffed.org/project/home, or by visiting the Jewish Care Facebook page, which keeps you updated with everything that's happening.
Okay. So how far along... Sorry. How far along are you in terms of funds, and how many? Just remind me again. How many days to go?
Sure, we have 7 days left.
7 days. So everybody listening out there, if you want to contribute to this very worthy cause, you've got 7 days left.
Yes, so 7 days to get your donations matched. We're currently on $53,000, which is an amazing start, and it's important that we get to our 180 within these 7 days.
So everybody out there, get onto your iPads, iPhones. Sorry, I shouldn't be Apple-centric. Let's get onto our screens and computers, and let's do this. So Melinda, you were saying over 60 people?
Yeah, so...
on any night?
Yeah, so 165.
Sorry, 165.
Yeah, individuals and families.
Right.
And that also obviously includes children.
Yeah.
So the largest group of people who come to Jewish Care needing assistance with either ending their current period of homelessness or stopping their being at risk of homelessness are single people. So, and also are single parent families. So we also accommodate up to about 36 children currently. Right.
I've got an interview coming up later on today, and it's about, this is a slightly skewed but possibly related topic. It's about family violence. Is that a cause of some of these people needing, or a large number of them?
Definitely. So in addition to the 62 units that we have, which is the target for the refurbishment, we also have 8 houses and a 3-bedroom unit. Those houses are always occupied by women and children fleeing situations of family violence. So we know that in the general population, more than a quarter of the homeless population are women and children, and that is because they've had to leave situations of violence. That's also who benefits from Jewish care housing as well.
So just to start my next topic off with my next speaker, how many males come to you with that problem, if any?
As victims?
As victims of family violence?
Yeah, less. Yeah, so we know that.
But there is a number, but it's less.
Yeah, so we know that that men's experience of violence is very different than women's experience of violence. So whilst men are also victims of violence, they're far more likely to be impacted on violence by people who are known to them or by other males, very rarely by their female partner. Whereas violence against women is predominantly male partner directed.
I was particularly talking about family violence.
No, but what we do is we see that we talk about homelessness having both causes being individual and structural. So when structural changes occur, people can become homeless. So a recent thing that's happened is that legislation has changed. So women now have the option to stay in the home with their children, and men are given a safety notice from the court to leave the home. So we have, been approached by men who have nowhere to live as a consequence of being given safety notices to move from their homes, and we also work with people in those circumstances as well.
Okay. Now back to future generations.
Yes.
what else do you do in Future Generations apart from raise funds on social media?
So our aim is to connect this cohort to the work of Jewish Care, and we do that by a number of different ways. And our main goal is to engage them and ultimately inspire them to make a gift. So crowdfunding is a great way to do that. Another program which we've recently rolled out, which has been quite successful, is engaging younger people onto our board leadership program called Yesod. So this was the first year of the program where we upskilled these individuals in partnership with the Australian Institute of Company Directors to give them the qualifications and skills needed to govern Jewish Care. They were partnered with a director who acted as a mentor, and they have the opportunity to first-hand experience our subcommittees and our boards on a rotational basis, together with hearing from some keynote speakers who are leaders in not-for-profit governance and corporate governance. So it's an amazing opportunity to put, a younger cohort at the top of our organisation and for them to be exposed to the extraordinary organisation which is Jewish Care.
No, it's terrific that you're so actively nurturing the next generation to become involved. I think that's good because too often, I think in the Jewish community in particular, maybe much broader than that, we rely on the older members, the more mature members of society to do that. And I think it's really important to look at new ways of engaging people. And it seems to me that being project-driven and being involved hands-on is a very important lure for younger people to become involved. Okay, so let's just repeat it. We need $180,000.
We need to raise
$180,000 by this time next week.
Correct.
So everybody get online.
Yes. So visit our Chuffed page, Chuffed
How do I spell Chuffed?
CHUFFED /project/home. Alternatively, visit the Jewish Care page at jewishcare.org.au or visit us on Facebook, facebook.com/JewishCareVictoria.
Fantastic. Well, I wish you every success with the campaign. Its funds, we know, are going to a very, very good cause. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for your time.